Hey, good morning, friends. Excuse my voice. It's not very strong this morning. I'm not quite sure why. And one thing I do very much despise is people who get on YouTube and make videos and they do not project. They do not push their voice out. It's very annoying. Very, very insulting, actually, to have people whom do not project, do not speak up. They just mumble. And again, apologies for my voice not being very strong this morning. I still have the remnants of the cold or the flu, whatever. But I want to talk about this Porsche 928 and some of my analysis that I'm making on the body just after having it just over 1 month. What I think happened was the previous owner, got very enthused about working on his car. And I don't know this, but perhaps maybe the owner thought that the entire car was made out of aluminum. The fenders, the hood, the doors are aluminum. He sanded everything down. That alone is worthy of a medal, because sanding Porsche paint down is very, very time consuming. This is what I do professionally. I'm a media blaster, as you guys know and gals know. So I don't normally do this. I don't like doing this. This is a lot of labor. It's a lot of waste of time. And it's never as effective as actually media blasting. So I think what the owner did is he got a bit carried away. I don't know. I'm not saying anything disparagingly about the previous owner, but I think perhaps maybe they thought the car was all aluminum. Now there's areas on the car that are steel, as we all know. Those of us in the Porsche 928 community know that the entire car is steel except for the fenders and doors and hood. Everything else is steel. And the steel is heavily treated with a zinc phosphate at the factory to mitigate rust. Now, some of the areas here that are shaded, those are zinc areas that remain on the metal. That is all zinc-rich area. He didn't take that off, which is okay, which is good. These areas here, he did take off. That's why we have the rust. Now, I'm still debating whether or not I'm going to blast this car. If I do blast this car, the window, the front windshield, is going to be an issue. This is not broken. You cannot remove these without breaking them. I've tried. They break. And I'm not sure about replacement availability on windows. I just don't know. And I'm trying to avoid the car being a mission creep, meaning it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, the scope of the project. But this right here is a problem. This right here is going to, it's not a normal path that you or us or we or whomever would take in the restoration process. This is a detour. This is an expensive detour that I'm going to have to make to get that metal ready for priming. Not paint, but priming. Paint is down the road a bit. Now, if I was going to blast this car, which I would like to do, and I might still do it, areas like this in this channel are of no concern. That would blast up super cleanly, super nice, very beautifully. All these nooks and crevices and things like that clean up very nicely. All in here by the gas cap, that would clean up extremely well. This is going to be tough to get clean. So the seats are going to come out, all the interior is going to come out, the carpet and stuff. I might just pack the front with sheets, wrap it up, or do something. Tape up the windshield with some very thin sheet metal on both sides, tape it up very well so media won't get on the inside. It might just blast the whole car, because I'm interested in quality, and it doesn't take that much more effort to get a quality job. This is the original color. It's like a gray. It's a grayish color, black color. It's hard to tell because it's very dirty and there's a lot of junk on it. So, man, I don't know. If I blast it, it's going to take off more of the zinc, but this is something that probably has to be done. So the lesson here in the video is that you don't want to get it like this. You don't want to do the work and then leave it and have it so it's like this, because it's a lot more work to get it fixed from this point onward. Fenders are no problem. They can be bare out in the rain. Of course they're not. I don't do that, but they could be, and they were. You know, the whole car was outside. That's why we have this. So this is zinc rich. That'll be just DA'd a little bit. It won't break into it. But man, I don't know. Sometimes you just can't cut corners, my friends. Cutting corners, you have problems. You have issues. You have this. You have situations like this that's going to be a bit of a challenge to get clean. Now, I've DA'd this. The drips that you see there, that's phosphoric acid that I put on here last night to get into the rust and neutralize it. Now, some of these little black dots, that is still active rust. However, the phosphoric acid, phospho, is in there, and it changes it to a black iron phosphate, which is a inert form of rust. You can paint over it, treat it, and carry on with your body work. So I don't know, I might have to do that the rest of the car. And then in here, just apply a paint stripper to get that stuff off, and then lay down a nice epoxy primer on the entire car. That's probably what I'll do. It's just a little bit more labor to do it like this. You know, getting these channels clean. It's just more labor that doesn't actually need to happen if the proper steps were done in the very beginning, or in the process of mechanically stripping this car that the owner undertook. So bottom line, cutting corners is never a good way to do a car. You end up spending more in the long run, a lot more money in the long run, and you take a lot more time. So key points to take away from this: Porsche 928s have a lot of zinc on them, applied from the factory. Zinc rich is right here. That's very high zinc. High zinc on the roof, except for the areas they sanded down too much. And I guess maybe the car was on a fire, I think we talked about before. But this rust will come off. It's just that it's when it comes like this, it just takes a little bit more effort to get it clean. And you always want to war game it. Think the next step, you know, if I do this, will it cause that to happen? You always want to look at cause and effect in this kind of work. Sadly, many cars that we undertake to do as hobbies, they end up being just that, a hobby car. You know, something that we just tinker on. And the tinkering is usually novice level stuff. You know, there's people all over YouTube, that's all they do is tinker. And they portray their work as high quality, infallible type work. And I'm always looking to not be that person that espouses infallibility. I'm always looking to improve myself and to find ways today to improve on what I did yesterday. It's always improving, always doing better, and I'm always looking at other people for pointers on doing things better and pointers to direct me in the right direction, meaning that I'm going in the right direction. You see some nudnik out there doing something, and there's a lot of them out there, a lot of nudniks working on cars. So I'm trying to keep my lane very narrow, but very well defined and very professional in that lane. That's all I can do. Got work to do. See ya. Bye-bye.